Good evening. Here's Doc Severson for the ReadySetCrypto OMNIA trade of the day for Tuesday, the 22nd of December. Looking at Bitcoin versus the US dollar. This is exactly what Bitcoin needs to do right now. This is consolidation. You can see this thing is starting to flag out very nicely after yesterday's distribution. That was good for about a 2,000 point range. Today, we've gotten back most of the body of that, but we're not breaking higher. And in fact, I don't want it to now. Daily chart will recover first, and it probably will take another 4 to 5 days for this to recover into a high energy condition again. However, we've got an issue where the larger time frames, the weekly and the monthly, are going to be in purgatory for quite some time. So this would do really a lot of good for the price to just kind of consolidate for a while. Going back to 2017, we can see that when we had these exhaustion conditions, we would spend 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe weeks before we'd see the next leg up. In this case, it was 1, 2, 3 weeks of consolidation before we saw the next leg up. And then finally, the runaway section of this. So I would rather see 4 or 5 weeks of consolidation before we get to one of these moves here. Again, a runaway move at this point is not going to help anything or anybody right now. So this is to some degree already somewhat of a runaway move, especially with last week's pump to the upside. This thing should spend another 5 weeks or so up at this level under 24,000. And if it does do that, if we do get a high and tight condition, which is under 24,000 and stays within about this 2,000 point range, this is going to be super bullish. And what this means is that on any dip, that you should accumulate or sell puts or whatever you can to get some value out of this, because a high and tight like this will break higher, more than likely. Now, something I like to do on conditions like this is throw the fib retracements on the move from the bottom here all the way to the top. So we're going to zero this out to the recent highs. And you can see that yesterday's move was a 38.2 retracement. So that is a classic bullish retracement in the middle of a primary swing, impulse swing to the upside, retrace 38.2 of this. And just when the negativity gets built up, this is where the squeeze happens. So we could use another one or two of these, retest the 38.2, and that may be it. That may be as low as we go on this thing. I do think that there is a possibility that we could go as low as 20,000 or so. That would more than likely be it. And that would probably be a very quick round trip if we did go down to 20,000. All right, looking at some of the other top 10s, we have Ethereum has held that trend line. That's all good. So far, does need to do some consolidation as well too. Ripple's had a bad few days with the SEC and so forth. Bitcoin Cash has been okay, but yesterday's rejection was not that great. This is just a big cup pattern setting up. We need to set up a decent handle right now. This is nowhere as good a chart pattern as is shown by the big brother Bitcoin. Litecoin's been surprisingly good for the last couple of months and something to consider. Chainlink has just not kept up. That's one problem here. Chainlink has not kept up. Cardano has not done that bad. This is, we can look at this as a big old cup with handle here, and this might break out to the depth of this. Let's see, anything else here? Probably not that much. Maybe Monero. Monero's still been pretty good. Well behaved all the way up here. This is a very linear chart, and I like this a lot. If we throw on the RSI Laguerre on here, we can see that, yeah, this too went through exhaustion, but is recovering from this very nicely. Quick peek at the weekly chart shows that Monero has no such limitation. So again, this might be a big cup with handle pattern setting up and could be breaking above the neckline of this at 125. We'll see. We'll see right now. That would more than likely target somewhere around 250. The bottom line, the market's doing exactly what it should be at this point. That's it for today's report. Thanks for listening. We'll see you tomorrow.